So, students, from this class, we will be doing the revision and we will be doing the revision of everything. And how I have planned it is that we'll solve the question paper and we will see how good we are doing in that. So, I'm taking a question paper from the session that was just completed. This is a question paper taken from the 1st February, shift 2, I guess. So, I'll start with those questions and let's see how we do it and how we tackle them. And remember, similar questions are going to come in your exam. They might not even change the data. They might change the data only. So this is the first one that is there. Let's see if you can do this. Ratio of acceleration due to gravity on the surface of planet 1 and planet 2 is x, while the ratio of radii is y. What is the ratio of escape velocities? I'll give you a minute. Think about it and give me the answer. Option 3, well done. That is the correct answer. Well done, and you have done it in the right time. Just to revise, what was the concept of, what was the formula of escape velocity due to any planet? The escape velocity due to any planet can be written as 2 times gm by capital R. Do we remember this?
Yes, sir.
Or you can write it as 2 times root over g, where g is the acceleration due to gravity on the surface multiplied by r. Do we remember this?
Yes.
Then you can easily write the ratio of escape velocity, the escape velocity of body on the planet 1 divided by escape velocity on the planet 2 will be equal to 2 will get cancelled. G1 R1 divided by G2 R2. You put the values here and you will get the answer as under root of xy. If you have got this question correct, you give yourself +4. If you did not get it correct, you give it yourself minus marks. Anyone understands this?
Yes, sir.
Shall we move on to the next question?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Remember, you have to solve the question. Also, you have to do it in the shortest possible time. This is the next question, and it comes on your screen now. In a hydrogen atom, an electron makes a transition from third excited state to the ground state. Find the energy of the photon emitted. 2 minutes you have. So, how are we supposed to ready? What answer did you get?
12.75.
12.75. Well done. That is the correct option. Remember the energy difference between the two shells. Remember delta E, and if you remember, I gave you the formula 13.6 into z square. Z is 1 into 1 by n1 square minus 1 by n2 square. N2 is third excited state. Third excited state means n is equal to 4. So this is nothing but 13.6 multiplied by 15 by 16. Do you need to calculate this?
No, sir.
No, you don't need to calculate this. As soon as you look at the option, you get the answer, and the answer happens to be how much?
12.75.
12.7. Do we understand this? We don't need to do this. We get this? Shall we move on to the next question?
Yes, sir.
Okay. This is the next question, and I have got this question from the same paper. Remember, we are solving the same paper. Shift 1 February, shift 2 February 1. And here is the question, and I've got a timer clock for you. The time starts now. Timer clock is not working. I think it's working. You can see this, right?
Yes, sir.
You can see the timer clock as well.
Sir?
You can see the timer clock as well. Timer clock. Don't see the timer clock?
No, sir.
Okay, okay. Solve the question. I will do the needful. Well, the timer is going to be up. Your answer is 300 Kelvin. The answer that I have is not 300 Kelvin. It is 400 Kelvin. How are we supposed to do this? How do we get the efficiency?
Efficiency equals to 1 minus T sink by T source.
That's it. So efficiency eta is equal to 1 minus T sink divided by T source. You just had to put the formula correctly, calculate it correctly, and you would end up with the answer. In the first case, X will be equal to 1 minus temperature of the sink divided by 600. Then you have the efficiency as 2x, 1 minus T divided by 1200. You had to divide these two things, and what will you get? This half will be equal to 1 minus T by 600 divided by 1 minus T by 1200. You had to solve this and you had to get the answer, and the answer to this one was 400 Kelvin. That is what we get. Do we understand this?
Yes, sir.
Everyone understands this?
Yes, sir.
Shall we move on to the next question?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then here comes the next question. I will not say it. You will have to read it on your own. And you have to give the answer, and your timer starts now. Hey, the timer did not start. Something wrong with the timer. So I let go the timer. It's not working as it was supposed to. So I will just show you this one. Timer is not working in the way it was supposed to work. This is the question. I'll have a timer here and I will probably put the timer also. So let me do it for you. How you had to do this? You had to use the mirror formula. What was the mirror formula? 1 by V plus 1 by U is equal to 1 by F. Anyone remembers this? In first case, if I call this pink one as the first case, in the first case your U was 15. So I can say 1 by V1, and it is not 15, it is minus 15 because of the sign convention, yes or no? Minus 1 by 15 will be equal to the focal length of the concave lens was minus negative minus 20, yes or no? From here you will get the value of V1, and I think the value of V1 that you are going to get, the value of V1 that you are going to get will be coming as plus 60. In the second case, this was the first case where U was taken as 15. In the second case, your U should be taken as minus 25. So 1 by V2 minus 1 by 25 will be equal to minus 1 by 20. From here, if you calculate the value of V2, it will be coming as minus 100. It is coming. One image is coming on the same side, the other image is coming on the other side. What is the difference between the two images? What is the distance between the two images? And the answer is 160 centimeters, and that is the answer that we were looking at. Do we get this? Anyone understands this? Yes or no? No, yes. We understand this. Okay, I think the mic's not working. I hope you
Good,
have
sir.
you got this, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Good. This was a question which have required some amount of calculation. If you could have done it fast, as you can see, the question was pretty simple. Let me move on and put the next question. I think we have already done it just very recently, but still the same question may appear. Again, I'm not going to read the question. I'm as soon as the question comes on your screen, your timer, which is a generous timer of 2 minutes, I might change it to 1 minute, will start, and your time starts now. And when as soon as I do this, something goes wrong. Here it starts now. As soon as I touch this, something goes wrong. Okay. Anyways, the answer is definitely 1 by 4. And how did we get this answer? Remember, how do we remember this? Can you tell me the formula?
Sir, it is HC
In
by
terms of stopping potential, EV will be equal to HF minus HF naught. Yes or no?
yes, sir.
So in first case, the stopping potential is V1. I can write EV1 is equal to H into 2F naught minus HF naught. Yes or no? In
Yes,
second case, I can write EV2 is equal to H into 5F naught minus H into F naught. From here, you should be able to find out the ratio between V1 and V2, and the ratio is coming as 1 by 4. Everyone understands this?
yes, sir.
I will take this timer out because this timer is creating a lot of trouble for me. So instead of putting this timer, I will take out this timer because it is creating a lot of havoc on my screen. So I'll just put this timer off, and I will just put the next question. Now do I put the next question? Let's share the screen first. And the next question is this one. Same paper, remember? And this is the next question. It comes on your screen now. A block is acted upon by a force as shown. The mass and the coefficient of friction is given. Find the minimum value so that the block slides. When will the block slide? This is F cos 60, F cos 30. How much is cos 30? If it is F
Root
into
3 by
root 3 by 2, this is F by 2. Yes or no?
yes,
Then there will be a normal coming from here. F by 2 plus N. The normal will be equal to mg. Yes or no?
yes, sir.
Then F cos 30 root 3 by 2 will be equal to, it is just about to slide. So frictional force will be limiting friction. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
And that limiting friction will be equal to mu times N. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
From here, what you have to do is eliminate. M is given to you,
Yes, sir.
G is already known. You'll just have to eliminate N out of this equation and you should be able to get the value of F. And the value of F that you are going to get from the answer that I have is this 400, 200 upon 4 root over 3 plus 1. I think it may be wrong. 3 minus 1n. I
3
am getting
minus
this
1.
value. How much you are getting? I mean, the answer is given in this way. What answer are you getting?
200 by 4 root 3 minus 1.
4 root 3 minus 1. So that would be the answer. I would take your option. Do we get this?
Yes, sir.
Anyone understands this?
Yes, sir.
Shall we move ahead?
Yes, sir.
And this is the next question. We have done many questions of this type. This is a question from units and dimension, and I'll give you 2 minutes. Anyone got any answer?
1 minute.
You see, this is a question of units and dimensions, and you should be able to solve it quickly. Now, everyone asks, sir, everyone asks me, sir, please show us some trick or some shortcuts to get the answers quickly. Well, I always keep on saying that there are no shortcuts in life, but there are things that you can do using your head that might help you in solving the question faster. If you are taking so much of time to solve the question of units and dimension, that is not justified. Now, if I had to solve it in the original way of dimension, what would I have done? I would have written M will be equal to G universal gravitational constant raised to the power X, H raised to the power Y, and C raised to the power Z. Then I will put the dimensions of G, I will put the dimensions of H, I will put the dimensions of C, then I will get 3 equations. From there, I will get the value of X, Y, and Z. Absolutely right, nothing wrong about it. You have to become wiser and get the answer quickly. Now, if I would have been in your place, what would I have done? I would have seen that there is HC coming twice. If you remember, energy, it's Hc by lambda. So H into C will be equal to energy multiplied by meter. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Energy is force multiplied by distance. So this is force multiplied by distance squared. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Let me write it as force multiplied by not M. Let me write it as distance so that we don't confuse. Force multiplied by distance. Now, remember gravitational constant G. This is force. This is force multiplied by distance square divided by meter square. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Divided by mass square. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
The only way you can get M in the numerator is when G comes in the denominator. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
These two options are definitely not possible. This option is definitely not possible because this is FD square, FD square, and FD square should get cancelled. The only option that is possible is 4, and that is the answer, my dear friend. I don't have to get into that complication. You have to do things faster, quickest possible way. Do we understand this?
Yes, sir.
That is the answer, my dear friend. FD square is going to get cancelled. That is why H into C is given. Remember, whenever in dimension you see H into C, that is energy multiplied by distance, F into D square. Remember that things might become easier when you are solving the question. It doesn't matter whether you know or don't know the right way of solving this. It's a question of dimensions. You can use any way to get to your answer quickly because your end desire is to get to the answer quickly, least possible way, and in a way where you don't have to get into complex calculations. Do you understand this?
Yes, sir.
Next one is this one. For a uniform disk, moment of inertia about the diameter is m square by 4. And something is to be found out. And this is a straightforward question, and the answer to this one is the question from 1st February, shift 2.
5 mr square by 4.
Straight away 5 mr square by 4. You just have to apply parallel axis theorem and we are done with it. Do we understand this? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
See? Since we are solving one question paper, so you will get every question paper will have some question which are theoretical, some questions which are straightforward there, some question which might require a bit of time for calculation, some question may require calculation but you can find a roundabout way to do this. This is the next one. Which of the following graphs best represent the relation between square of time period and length of a simple pendulum? This is also straightforward one,
Option
and
1.
the answer is option 1. Do you understand this? Time period is 2 pi root over L by G, but it is written as square of time period. So square of time period, this entire thing becomes 4 pi square, so it is proportional to L. It is a straight line. I have given you so many problems on this. Yes or no? No, yes. Are we able to do this question? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
This is the next question in line. A uniform wire of resistance R is folded into a regular polygon of n sides. Then the equivalent resistance of this system between any two adjacent points is. This is also straightforward, but I'll give you 1 minute to solve it. This is correct. So basically, you convert it into a polygon of n side. What will be the resistance of any one of those sides?
R by N.
It will be equal to R by N. Now you are finding out the potential drop. Sorry. The equivalent resistance between any 2 points. Let us say these 2 points A and B. Now whatever here it is, they are all in series. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
N minus 1 are in series. So the effective resistance becomes R by N into N minus 1 of the resistance which are on the other side, and then there is a small resistance R by N which is here, and these two resistance will be in parallel. So this multiplied by R by N divided by R by N into N minus 1 plus R by N, and that would be your answer. And you calculate this, and you should be quick enough to calculate this. This is the value that you are going to get. Do you understand this?
Yes, sir.
Anyone got the answer?
Yes, sir.
This one comes again. It's a straightforward question that should give you a straightforward answer, and that you should be able to move ahead in life. As which of the following is correct for a Zener diode? Anyone knows it? What is the answer? This question can very well come in NEET as well. It's as simple as that.
Option C on option PA number 2 and 4.
And the answer is
Sir, the answer is option 3, sir.
option 3. It acts as a voltage regulator. It is always used in reverse bias. You've discussed it many times, and I hope you know how to do this. Yes or no?
Yes.
Fact-based question. This is the next one in line. A train moving with an initial speed of 20 meter per second applied brakes to stop at the coming station, which is 500 meters ahead. If the brakes are applied after moving 250 meters, then how much beyond the station would the train stop? This might look like a question of motion in 1D, but I don't think it has got anything to do with 1D. What is the answer for this one? The answer is 250 meters. It requires 500 meters to stop. The brakes are applied when the distance is 250 meters. So how far ahead will it stop? Don't have to do anything. You just have to subtract 250 from 500. Do we understand this? You see, you can also have questions like this coming in your exam, and to get this, you are lucky. So I think these people were lucky if they got questions like this. And incidentally, the next one is again a repetition of the question that we have already done, I think. So this paper, as far as I see, it had two questions on the Carnot engine. Give you a minute to solve this one. 100 kelvins, I think, is the correct answer. We've already seen the efficiency of a Carnot engine is 1 minus temperature of the sink TL divided by temperature of the heat source. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
In first case, the efficiency is 1 by 3, 1 minus TL by TH. From here, you will get the ratio of TL and TH. TL by TH, you have to be fast.
2 by 3, sir.
Oh, sorry. That's 2 by 3. I wrote 1 by 3. Then you have to make the efficiency to 1 by 6 by raising the sink temperature. So 1 by 6 becomes 1 minus TL plus X divided by TH. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So from here you will get TL plus X divided by TH will be equal to 5 by 6. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Then how do you go from here? You know the ratio of TL by TH from this equation, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
You can break this equation into TL by TH plus X by H. From there you will get the value of X. Do we understand this?
Yes, sir.
Anyone understands this?
Yes, sir.
Good. Comes the next one in line. And remember, this was the paper that some of you would have appeared. As you can see, all the questions you are able to do on your own. It's just that you have to be accurate, precise, and fast in your calculations. This is the next one. Consider the circuit shown in the figure. Circuit may look a bit enterprising. What is all registers? All resistance are 10 ohms. Find out the modulus magnitude of the value of I1, I2, and I3. So basically, you have to find out the directions are not important here. In which direction? So if it is here, you get positive. Here it means negative. You don't have to use the negative values. Do you understand, no? You just want the value of I1, I2, and I3. It's not a vector quantity. It's a scalar one. Option 1, 2 is absolutely correct. It may look like a very difficult diagram, but it is not so. As you can see, between this point and this point, this battery E is connected. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So you can easily say that this I1 will be equal to E by R, which is E by 10, and this is also E by 10. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
I1 and I2 are E by 10. If you call this point as potential 0, This point also is at potential 0. This point is also at potential 0. This point it has potential E. Yes or no because of this battery? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Now you can find out the potential of this point between this point and this point. The potential difference has to be 2E. So that point has to be minus E. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
From here you should be able to calculate. This potential will be minus E. This potential would be 0. So current here is also E by 10. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So I1 plus I2 is 2E by 10. I3 is E by 10. The ratio becomes half. Don't have to do anything. You can straight away get the answer like this. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Good. Then again a question. And the question looks like this. This is a straightforward one, and I would want you to give me the answer. That is why I've told you everything, every possible theory behind everything that we have discussed. For making a voltmeter, we prefer a voltmeter of resistance 100 ohms over a voltmeter of resistance 1000 ohms. Voltmeter should be of high resistance such that it draws less current.
Sir, option 3, sir. A is correct, R is false.
First one is correct, second one is false. For an ideal voltmeter, what should be the resistance?
0, sir.
For
0.
an ideal voltmeter, the resistance should be 0. Well, what about emitter? What should be the resistance of an ideal emitter? Infinity. For an ideal voltmeter, the resistance should be as high as possible so that it draws less current. Therefore, this statement is correct explanation. For making a voltmeter, we'll prefer a resistance of 400 ohms over a resistance of 1000 ohms. No, we will prefer a resistance of 1000 ohms. Higher the resistance, the better the voltmeter is. The option is option 4. A is false. R is true. Do we understand this? Do we remember this?
Yes, sir.
Note this down. No need to note this down. We have already discussed it in the class. Does any one of you remember it? Do we remember that class? Shall I show it to you?
Remembered, sir.
Chalo then that is the next question. Straightforward one according to the PT graph. Three different gases at different temperature. What is this point O equal to? And the answer is
Option 4, minus 273 degrees Celsius.
even option 4 is not correct. It is minus 273.15
15.
degrees Celsius. But here no other options are given. So the correct answer will be minus 273. Do we understand this or this is going above our head saying bye bye? Do we understand this?
Yes, sir.
This is the next question, which I think we had discussed in the YDSE experiment as well. The question is, guess what is the answer for this one? The YDSE setup, a mica sheet of thickness T, refractive index mu is inserted. Find the number of fringes shift, and the answer is
Option 2, sir.
Option 2, sir. Well done, sir. Mu minus 1 T by lambda. That is the correct answer, my dear friends. Well done. This is the next one, as you can see. Out of the 15, 20 questions we have done, 20 is this question. You were able to do all, and where they were pretty simple, and we have not taken even 30 minutes to solve this paper. Choose the correct statement regarding a ground to ground projectile. Ding, and the answer is no one knows the answer.
1 and 2, sir.
1 and 2, sir, is very wrong, sir. It's only answer 2, sir. Kinetic energy is 0. That means it will fall. Does the projectile fall from the highest point down? What is 0 at the highest point, my dear friends?
Sir,
What? Which thing is 0 at the highest point?
vertical velocity is 0.
Then does vertical velocity means kinetic energy is also 0?
No, sir.
Apart from vertical velocity, it also has
Horizontal
horizontal
component of
velocity.
velocity.
So if you forget simple things in life, well, life is going to give you a hard day. And I wish that you don't get a hard day. This is from the second section. Second section, they will ask you to give the values up till 2 or 3 decimal points, depending on how the question is framed. This is the first one in this category. A force F is applied on object moving along y-axis, varies with the coordinates like this. The work done in displacing it from here to here is, and your time starts now. Your answer must be according to the conditions given correct to 2 places of decimals. Yes, what is the answer?
86.66.
Yes,
86.67.
how much?
86.67.
Answer that I have is 87. Force is given as 3 plus 2y square. You have to find out the work done. So integral of 3 plus 2y square dy, it has to be integrated from 2 to 5. So that will be 3 into 5 minus 2, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Plus 2 by 3 into 5 square.
5 cube, sir.
5 cube is 125. 125 minus 2 cube is 8. Yes or no?
Yes.
This is what you should get. The final answer that I have is 261 by 3. That is equal to 87.00. That is the answer I have. I hope you have got the correct one. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Well, if you got the correct one, congratulations. Move on to the next question of the same paper. And as you can, this is the one and the answer to this one. In electromagnetic wave, the ratio of energy carried by the electric field to that of the magnetic field is, and the answer is
Mu by epsilon naught. Mu by epsilon naught. 1, sir.
the answer is not 1, sir. It is 1.00. The answer has to be given in this form. That is what the instruction says. Do we understand this, or this is going above our heads? Saying bye bye.
Yes.
The answer has to be given in that format. Shall we move ahead?
Yes.
This is the next one, and the answer to this one is
अरे by theta ये आते हैं not I by theta ఎంత 190 by pi is the theta here.
what is the answer for this one? So much of time. This is the magnetic field you created by half circle at the center. These two wires cannot create field. So the value of K is how much?
2 I think so. Not I by 2 r. 2 sir.
8. Sir.
The answer was the question mu naught I by 4 pi r multiplied by the angle. Angle is pi, not 2 pi. The value of K is 4. So the answer is 04.00. So don't remember the magnetic field due to a current carrying circular wire. Well, I'm disappointed. Anyways, I have to leave my disappointment on one side and give you this question. If you don't remember that question, this question is almost next to impossible for you to solve. But still, I hope that you will give me the answer. You have 2 minutes to get the answer for this one. So how to solve this question? You have to remember the formula of magnetic field due to a circular coil at any point on the axis, and I don't think you remember it. It was mu naught I
into x by x square plus r square in whole
to
power
r square
square.
upon 2 times r square plus x square raised to the power of 3 by 2. Here the value of x is how much?
2r.
2r. So you just put the values. What answer are you going to get?
10 sir.
Huh?
10 sir.
10 sir. 10 sir is not the answer, sir. 10.00 sir is the answer, sir. Do we understand this, sir? Yes sir or no sir?
Yes.
Then comes the next question. This is question from the same shift. 1st February shift 2, but not from physics. It is from chemistry. But I will count it as a question in physics. Just to make you realize that if you do physics nicely, even 1 or 2 questions in chemistry can be done from physics. I'll give you 2 minutes to give me the answer. Option 1, sir. Thank God, sir. It is the correct answer, sir. So the way is 3.6 into Z square. What is the Z of beryllium? 4. 1 by n1 square minus 1 by n2 square. n1 is 2. So 1 by 2 square is 4. Minus 1 by 4 square is 16. And as soon as you see this, you know the answer. You don't have to calculate it. Do you need to calculate it? Don't need to calculate it. You can straight away mark this one. Do you understand this?
It is only z no sir.
Yeah, beta?
It is 13.6 into z, that is 4.
Oh. No, it is z square, no?
It was n square, sir, but Z
Yes?
1.
Hmm? Z square, no? What is the problem? Did I do anything wrong? Everything all right?
Yes, sir.
What is the doubt you have? Any doubt that I can attend to? Shall we move ahead in life then?
We were just thinking it is Z or Z square.
You were thinking that it is Z or Z square. If you put Z as 4, you are not going to get 40.8. And I don't know how did you get 40.8.
Sir, if I put it is Z, then I got 40.8.
No, then the answer is not 40.8. It is Z square 16. So how much you will get here? 13.6 into 16 divided by 1 by 4 minus 1 by 16 is how much?
3 by 16.
3 by 16 beta. So when I put Z as Z, when I put it as Z square, then only I'm getting 40. I don't know what calculations you are making. I don't know. Shall we move on to the next question?
Yes, sir.
Next question is from the next paper. We are done with paper number 1. We are moving on to paper number 2. This is 29 Jan, shift 2. And this is the first question in the paper as I have it. A force F is equal to minus 40 kx acts on a particle of mass 1 kg. X is the position of the mass from the origin. The maximum speed of the mass is 4 meter per second. Find the amplitude. So how did we get this? Option 1.
V equal to A omega
V equal to A omega. That is correct.
and omega square equal to K by M.
So V is equal to amplitude. How much is the amplitude here? Amplitude we don't know. V max is given as 4 meter per second. That will be equal to A into omega is equal to root over K by M. How much is K?
40.
40 by mass is 1. From here you are getting the value of A as option A. Option 1.
Option 2.
Option 2 is the correct answer. 2 by root over 10. That is how you have to do this. As you can see, there is nothing in this question that we have not done. The only thing you have to understand is you will have to remember these things. Now comes this question. I don't know whether we have done a question like this. We have done some question like this, but not the exact one. Now, if a question like this comes, you can realize that it might require some calculations, and you all know how good or how bad your calculations are. Whenever you attempt such a question, be very careful. The question is pretty damn simple. The incline 2, incline 1 and incline 2, two inclines having the same height. One is smooth at an angle of 45 degrees. Another is having an inclination of 60 degrees and it is rough. The ratio of time taken is n. Which one will take more time? Obviously 60 degree will take more time because it has got roughness, but it has got more angle as well. So you have to see which one will take more time. The ratio of the time is given as n. You have to find the ratio of time from one slide to the second slide is given as n. So t1 by t2 is given as n. You have to find out the value of mu. I'll give you 2 minutes to solve this. So how are we supposed to do this? Any idea, anyone? Now,
Sir, I have found out the time taken by that block on smooth surface, and I have found out the acceleration of the block on rough surface.
it is starting from rest, so time is half 80 square, right? s is equal to half at square. So it is proportional to root over 2 into the displacement s divided by acceleration. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So time is directly proportional to displacement x divided by acceleration. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Here the displacements are different. This displacement will be h divided by sine theta. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So this time will be proportional to, if I just write, it will be proportional to 1 by root of sine theta into the acceleration a. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
That's it. That is what you need to calculate. You're taking just too much time to do this. T1 by T2, which is given as n, will be equal to under root of sine theta 1. Oh, sine theta 2. How much is sine theta 2? Root over 3 by 2 divided by sine theta 1 by root 2. Do we understand this?
Yes, sir.
Even you can make it more simpler. Okay, what is the acceleration in the second case? It will be equal to g into sine theta minus mu g cos theta. You remember this?
Yes, sir.
So g into root 3 by 2 minus mu is given as how much?
That should be
Mu we have to
common.
calculate. So this is mu into cos theta, mu by 2. In the first case, the acceleration will be equal to g into sine theta. So g by root 2. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
You just have to calculate this. As you can see, you might make a mistake in the calculations. Well, this is how the things are. G and G will cancel. This root 2 and 2, root 2 will become 2. This 2 can be cancelled from here. So if I square it, I will get n square will be equal to root 3 by 2 into root 3 minus mu. You have to be fast in getting the answers, and from here I think you are going to get the answer as
Why to combination? Graphite.
option 2 is given to me, and I hope that is the correct answer. You have to be fast. You've just taken too much of time. If I remember correctly, I had given you withdrawing the values of acceleration in these two cases. Do we remember it?
Yes, sir.
See? So we did not solve this question here now. We actually solved it 5 months, 6 months earlier, but you can't recollect it. You will have to recollect things. If you can't recollect things, then it might become a difficult task. Anyways, here is the next one, and I hope you can do better with this one. As far as I think, this is a straightforward question. A particle performing uniform circular motion about the origin at certain instant x is equal to 2. V is minus 4j. What is V and acceleration at x is equal to minus 2? And the answer is
The opposite direction. So acceleration is
you can't take so much of time to give this answer.
V square is 16 by R is 8. 8 and
Taken too much of time to solve a simple question. Oh, I used the wrong color. Taken too much of time to solve a simple question. Can't take so much of time to solve simple question.
option 2, sir.
You have taken too much of time to do it. At this point it is here, so at this point it will be here, and will acceleration would be here, and that is the answer. You should have taken 3 seconds to solve it.
Bongo.
The problem is you have taken time on things that you should not have taken time on. So it's just a matter of your speed, how quickly you can do something. so that you can save time for questions which might require not thought, because all these questions are pretty straightforward, which might require some time in calculation, because I know that you might make a mistake. That is the only portion where you are going to fall is your calculations, and I have told you from the very first day, and I'll keep on telling you till the last day, that the only way you are going to make mistake is a mistake in calculation, because there is nothing in physics that is going to trouble you in the question that you are going to see eventually in your sheet. A man pulls down a block as shown, dung, 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 dung. Then which is the correct answer? A, B, C, D.
B is correct. A ఇళ్ళల్లో ఉంటే అన్ని తీసేసి C. If the man pulls block with a constant speed, then the tension. Option 1, sir.
Option 1, sir. As soon as you know that option B has to be correct, you don't have to look for anything else. There is only one option here. See? Anyways, work done by gravity is negative because block is moving upwards. Moving with a constant velocity, acceleration is 0, tension should be equal to mg. See? Questions are pretty damn simple. The only thing you have to remember is that you have to remember things. The only thing you have to forget is the habit of forgetting things. That is the reason I am doing the division in this way. Trying it out in this way. It gives you a feel of the exam. That clock thing is not working. Whenever I use this clock, it goes hayward. Anyways, this one. RMS current in circuit 1 is IA. IMS current in circuit IB is B is IB. And then what? Ding, ding, ding. It's a straightforward question. It has a straightforward answer. And the answer is
Impedance account agora. I equals to impedance. Sir, option 1, sir.
good. This is how quickly you must be able to do this. In first case, IA will be equal to 20, 200 by 4. I'm assuming that this is RMS voltage given here. In the second case, it is 200 upon under root of 4 square plus 2 square. So which one is more? IA is more. Do we understand this?
Yes, sir.
Great. Let me now give you this question, and I think we had discussed this question even in the class. Give you 2 minutes to solve this one and give me the answer. The answer is option 4. Definitely it is acting like a which gate? XOR gate. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Good. Remember this, you are going to have at least one question based on this. You can see questions are pretty damn simple. Don't have to revise many things. You just have to go through and do simple things. Just go through the formulae, whatever important notes I told you. See this one, communication system. The maximum voltage is 14, minimum voltage is 6. Find out the modulation index. See, cannot get simpler than this. Modulation index. Modulation index. Modulation index. And the answer is
0.2, sir.
0.2, sir. It's wrong, sir. Modulation index eta is Vmax minus Vmin divided by Vmax plus Vmin. Do we remember this?
Yes, sir.
14 minus 6 divided by 14 plus 6. How much it is coming? 8 by 20. 8 by 20, yes or no?
Yes, sir. 0.4.
I hope you understand where you are lagging. Anyways, that takes me to the next question, and this is the straightforward one. The gravitational potential due to a solid uniform sphere of mass m radius r at a point at a distance r from the center is equal to, and the answer is
Sir, option 1, sir.
minus gm by r. This is 29 Jan, shift 8. Next one, and I think this one we did it just now. Anyways, resolving power of a compound microscope will increase with what? I think I gave you the formula there as well.
Sir, option 1, sir.
Option 1, sir. Decrease in wavelength, resolving power, let me call it as eta, is directly proportional to 2 times mu sine theta. I call this mu sine theta as your numerical aperture. Do we remember this?
Yes, sir.
Divided by lambda. I think the same question we did. The same question is coming here again. Can't help it. This is the one from my favorite topic, units and dimensions. You have 2 minutes to give me the answer for this one. Option 1 is correct. The dimension of x is L, or L, x square is L square. So alpha into t should be equal to L, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So alpha will be equal to LT minus 1. There's only one option which has alpha as LT minus 1, so you don't have to go any further and you can give your answer. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Beta will be inverse of alpha because the dimension of alpha is same as 1 by beta. Yes or no? Do we get this, or this is going above our head saying bye-bye?
We got it, sir.
See, such simple question come in JEE. This is the number one. One assertion, one reasoning. What is the correct answer? And the correct answer is
Option 4, sir.
option 4. A is false, but R is true. If R is true, then A has to be true. And the correct answer is option A. Electromagnetic waves. Are they deflected by electric? What do you mean by electromagnetic wave? Radiations, are they deflected by electric and magnetic fields? No, they are not. They do not have any charged particles. They consist of electric and magnetic field in mutually perpendicular directions. Do we understand this, or this is going above our head saying bye-bye?
Understood.
This is the next one, and the answer for this one is de Broglie wavelength of a body of mass m. Kinetic energy E is given by, which is the correct answer?
De Broglie wavelength, that is the kinetic energy equals to epsilon lambda.
Had given you the various format. One of those format was lambda is h upon root over 2 times kinetic energy into mass. The correct answer is this option. I've given you all these options beforehand. The only thing you have to remember is to remember things. The only thing you have to forget is the habit of forgetting things. And I hope you do both the things correctly. You remember things that are to be remembered, and you forget the habit of forgetting important things. This is the next one in line. In a region of electric field, A charge, something is placed from here to here. What is the work done by the external agent? So here the electric field is in this direction. Ding, 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 ding. I have to move a particle from origin here to the point 1, 2 here. I can move it in any way. It will not make much difference. So I'll move it like this, and then I will take it like this. In this path, the work done would be 0. I only have to find out the work done in this path. How much is the force? How much is the force? Multiplied by the distance Q into E into the parallel distance. Q is given as this one. Electric field is given as this one. I only have to move it along x-axis because along y-axis there is no work done. So I have to multiply these three quantities. When you multiply these three quantities, the answer that you're going to get is 6 millijoules. And that is the answer that we are looking at. We had done at least 500 different questions on this. You just have to remember any one of those to get the answer of this one. I will leave it at that. If you're not able to solve any particular question, what you got to do is you got to go back to that class. You can see that class in the recordings, or you can go back to your notes and see those notes and find out how we did this. This is the next question. It is from section B. So you have to give the answer in 2 digits up to 4 significant figures. So it should have tens, ones. The answer should be in this form. 06.00. 4 significant figures, 2 figures after the decimal. At 300 Kelvin, Arvin speed of an ideal gas molecule is ding 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 times the average speed of the molecule. What is the value of alpha? Take pi as 22 by 7. 28.000000 is correct. V average divided by VRMS. In V average, we have 8 by pi. And in VRMS, we have root 3. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So if you find out the ratio of VRMS, we have to find out the ratio of V average divided by VRMS. So that will be equal to 8 divided by 3 pi. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So your VRMS becomes V average multiplied by 3 pi by 8, and the value of this 3 pi by 8 ka root is given as root over alpha plus 5 pi alpha. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
From here, you should be able to calculate the value of alpha, and the value of alpha is coming as 28, but the answer is 28.00. Do we understand this?
Yes, sir.
This is the next question that is going to come. We had done a lot of questions of this type, and I need a quick answer. Alpha particle and proton are coming back. Second question on de Broglie wavelength, my dear friend. The de Broglie wavelength is given by h by p. P is momentum, h by mv, which is h by root over 2 km, which is also equal to h by root over 2 mqv. Do we remember this?
Yes, sir.
Thank God we remember this, because after that, your answer is wrong. So the de Broglie wavelength of alpha, lambda by of alpha divided by lambda of proton will be equal to 2 and 2 cancel, mass of proton into charge of proton divided by mass of alpha into charge of alpha. Alpha. Mass of proton divided by mass of alpha is 1 by 4. Mass charge of proton divided by charge of alpha is 1 by 2. The value of x is 8. And the answer is 08.00. So you get a big 0 in this. And I hope that sometimes you will become hero after getting all these zeros. You've done 100 questions on the same pattern. You just have to remember any one of those and then pray to God that you don't make mistakes in calculations. We had done 200 questions on the next question also. Time period of rotation of a planet is 24 hours. If the radius decreases to 1/4, the new time period is x hours. Find the value of 2x. The radius, when I say the radius, it is the radius of the planet. It's rotating like this. The radius of the planet is decreasing. This planet is not moving around a star, remember that. .750. Let us say, so the planet rotating, its radius becomes 1 by 4. So what changes if the radius changes?
Radius, if it is changing, moment of inertia will decrease.
How much will be the new moment of inertia if the original moment of inertia is I? What is the new moment of inertia?
2 by 5 mr square, sir. Because it is.
Take deep breaths. Close your eyes. Think. Now give the answer.
Sir, I have remembered that T is directly proportional to R cube.
Deep breaths you need to take. Deep breaths. Deep breaths. This planet is not rotating around the sun. It is rotating on its axis. Radius becomes 1 by 4. Radius of a planet becomes 1 by 4. What happens to the moment of inertia? How much it becomes? 1 by 16. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
That's it. But the angular momentum will remain constant. I1 into omega 1 will be equal to I2 into omega 2. So it will start to spin faster. Faster. How much faster will it start to spin? Omega 2 will be 16 times omega 1. So time period 2, T2, 2 pi by omega is inversely proportional. So time period will become T1 by 16. Time period of the first one is 24. Second one is 16. 24 divided by 16 is 1.5 hours. That is the value of x. 2x becomes 3 hours. So the answer is 3.00. I told you when I gave you the question also, this planet is rotating, not revolving. Rotating, not revolving. Please understand the question first. Because as soon as you see time period, you see planet and you see radius, hui, t square is directly proportional to r cube. That is not the hui that you had to do here. You had to do pui, which was spinning on its axis. So remember this. That takes us to the next question in this paper. The second last question that I have. Have you noted this down?
Yes.
This is the next one in line. A block of mass 20 kg is moved with a constant force F for 20 seconds, starting from rest. And then F is removed. It is observed that the block moves 50 meters in the next 10 seconds. Find the value of F. This question can be done in many ways. It is observed that the block moves 50 meters in the next 10 seconds. We'll suppose that this is moving with uniform velocity. From there, you can find out the velocity. What was the velocity of the block? What was the velocity of the block? 5 meter per second. Yes or no?
Yes.
This velocity was achieved by this force applied for 20 seconds starting from rest. So F multiplied by 20, which is the impulse, 20 seconds, will be equal to mass 20 kg into 5 meter per second. 20 goes away. The value of F is 5.00 Newton. Do we understand this?
Yes.
This is the last question from the physics section of this paper. And this question comes like this. Atomic mass number of a nucleus is 16. Half-life is 1 day. For nucleus B, the values are 32 and half day is the half-life. 320 grams each of A and B are taken initially. Find the ratio of their number of atoms after 2 days. So we first find the initial number of nucleus of A. What are the initial number of nucleus of A? 320 divided by 1620, yes or no?
Yes.
And initial number of nucleus of B? 10, yes or no? 320 divided by 32,
Yes.
yes or no? So initial numbers are 20 and 10. After 2 days. After 2 days, what will be the number of nucleus of A left?
5, sir.
Take a deep breath. Close your eyes. Open them. Look at the question and tell me the answer. What is the number of nucleus of A left? How many half-lives has passed?
2, sir.
2. In 2 half-life, so the number of nucleus will be initial number divided by 2 square. So it is, oh, I should take a deep breath. So 20 divided by 4, it is will be equal to 5. Yes or no? What about this one?
5/2, sir.
For this, how many half-lives have passed?
4, sir.
4. So 2 raised to the power 4 is 16. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So how much is this? 5/8. The ratio is 8. And the answer is 8.00. That was how the question was. I think we had done plenty of questions based on this. Anyways, moving on from the physics section to the chemistry section. And as you can see, in every section, you have one question from the physics that appears in chemistry as a question in chemistry. Bohr's radius of hydrogen atom in ground state is 0.6 Armstrong unit. Find the Bohr's radius of third orbit of helium plus? Option B, sir. The radius of the nth orbit of hydrogen-like atom, and I give you all these formulas, is proportional to n square by z. So radius of helium plus divided by radius of hydrogen ground state will be equal to, for hydrogen everything is 1, n is 1 and z is 1. For helium n is how much? Third orbit, n is 3 and z is 2. So this will be equal to 3 square divided by 2. So radius of helium third orbit will be radius of hydrogen multiplied by 9 and divided by 4. Divided by 2. And the answer, my dear friends, is for 2.7 Armstrong units. As you can see, you just have to remember simple things. If you can remember them, well, you can make a lot of merry in the paper. If you don't remember them, you are bound to make mistakes, and those mistakes are going to land you up into deep trouble. This is the question of paper of 30th Jan, shift 2. And this is the first question. I'll give you a minute to solve this. These two are in series, these two are in parallel, these two are in parallel, these two are in series, these two are in series, then everything is in parallel. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So you can first solve this one, find the parallel combination of this, find the parallel combination of this, find the series, and then you have all of these in series. I hope you can do this. 2 by 3 ohm is the answer that I have, and I hope that is the correct answer. This is the next one in line. We've done many questions on this. As always, a car travels this with this, find out this. 15 by 4 average velocity. Here average speed is total distance divided by total time. Do we remember this?
Yes, sir.
Total distance is 4 plus 4. Total time, first case 4 by 3, second case 4 by 5. You divide and you land up with the answer 15 by 4. Do we understand this?
Yes.
Chalo, then we move on to the next one. And it happens to be like this. A current 2 amp is flowing through the sides of an equilateral triangle of side length 4 root 3. Find the magnetic induction at the center of the triangle. Equilateral triangle. Remember, you just have to remember the geometry of it, and that is the reason that question was given. Option 1 is correct. If you have the centroid, the center, now you just have to remember the geometry. If this is the center, the centroid, this angle has to be 30 degrees, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
This would be the half of the length. If I drop a perpendicular, so this will be 2 root 3, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
From here you can find out this perpendicular distance r. Remember this because same question can come. You can just change the values. This distance r will be equal to, you can find out this angle is 30 degrees, and from there tan 30 will be equal to r divided by 2 root 3. So from there you can get r. I think r will be coming as 2 meters. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Now you can understand that you just have to find out the field due to one wire. Just multiply it by 3. Yes or no? So the total magnetic field becomes 3 times mu naught into I by 4 pi. Distance is 2. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
both the angles. Remember which angle you have to take. You have to take this angle. Yes or no? That
Yes,
is not 30, that is 60. So sine 60 plus sine 60. When you put the value, you will get the answer as option 1, 3 root 3 into 10 raised to the power of minus 7. Do you understand this?
yes, sir.
This is the next one then. A particle is released at a height equal to the radius of Earth above the surface of Earth. Its velocity when it hits the surface of Earth. You just have to apply law of conservation of mechanical energy, yes or no? At the point where the particle is placed, there is no kinetic energy, there is only potential energy. Minus g m into small m divided by 2 r naught, where r naught is the radius of Earth, yes or no? When it falls on the surface of Earth, the potential energy is minus gmm by r naught plus the kinetic energy is half mv square, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
From here, if you solve it, the answer that you are going to get is option 3, and that is the answer that we are looking at.
Sir, once check it out.
It's not coming like that? Paka?
Yes, sir.
The only thing that is going to be the deciding factor in your exam is your calculation skill, which don't seem to improve. Best, I will wish you all the luck on that. I can't help you with this. A faulty scale is 5 degrees Celsius at melting point and 95 degrees Celsius at steam point. Find the original temperature. If this faulty scale reads 41 degrees Celsius. Forty degrees Celsius, I told you that any scale minus the melting point divided by boiling point minus melting point is constant, yes or no? So this scale is reading 41. 41 minus 5 divided by 95 minus 5 will be equal to x minus 0 divided by 100 minus 0. If you calculate it correctly, you will end up at 40 degrees Celsius. Do you understand this?
Yes, sir.
Comes the next one from the same paper. The block stays in equilibrium. Find the tension in the string. I think we had done up 2 or 3 questions on this type also. So the answer is straight away. This is T. This is mg. T will be equal to mg. M is given as root 3. The answer is root 3g. That is the answer that we are looking at. Straightforward question on equilibrium. Let us move on to the next one. This is 30th January, shift 2, the paper that we are discussing now. This is the next one. In an AC circuit, what is the value of IRMS? This is a straightforward question. And you should be able to give me the answer straightforward. And the answer is
2 root 2 amperes.
need to take deep breaths. Deep breaths. Close our eyes. Open them. Look at the question. Question asks for RMS value. The value of voltage given here, 200 root 2, is the peak value. So the RMS value is 200. The impedance of this circuit, they are going to cancel. The impedance of this circuit is 100. 200 divided by 100 is 2 amperes, my dear friends, and that is the answer that we are looking at. Comes the next one online, and this is a straightforward question again. A charge Q is placed inside the cavity made in a uniform conducting solid sphere. EA, EB, and EC are electric field at point A, B, and C, which is the correct option. Remember this. Oops. There is material here. Dong 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 dong. There is material here. This is solid material here. What about the electric field at various points? And the answer is
1, sir.
and the answer is 2. At point A, point Q will create electric field. Point B is inside the material of the conductor. There cannot be any electric field. Point C, because of induced charges on the inner sphere and the outer one and the outer surface, there will be electric field. So the correct answer is option B. Option B is the correct answer. At point A and C, electric field is not zero. At point B, the electric field, which is inside the material of the body, the electric field is always zero. Properties of conductor. This is the next one. In the shown spring system is set into oscillation. It has an angular frequency omega 1 when mass is 1 kg, omega 2 when the mass is 2 kg. This is as simple as it gets. What is the ratio of omega 1 by omega 2? You cannot get simpler than this one.
Root 2, sir.
Root 2, sir. Omega is root over k by m. K is same. Inversely proportional to root over masses, and we end up with our answer. That takes us to the next one, and this is the next one from the same paper. A particle of mass m is moving under a force whose power is constant. I think we have done question like this. Power was constant. Initial velocity of the particle is 0. Find the position of the particle at 4 seconds. Power of this thing is constant, right? So power. Now this is dw by dt, rate at which work is done. So I can write dw is equal to p dt, or work done by the force will be equal to p into t, because power is constant. Yes or no? Work done by this force is equal to change in kinetic energy. Final kinetic energy is half mv square. Initial kinetic energy is 0. From there, I can get the value of velocity in terms of power. 2 times pt by m ka under root. We understand this? This is the velocity, and this can be written as dr by dt. So dr will be equal to the position 2p by m ka root into t ka root into dt. To find out the position, you have to integrate this. Initial particle, the initial velocity is 0. Position is also taken as 0. So you have to integrate this from 0 to 4. So you get the position of the particle as root over 2p by m, integral of root t. What is the integral of root t? t raised to the power 3 by 2 divided by 3 by 2, and you have to take the limit from 0 to 4. The answer that they have given is option 1. So I will take that as the answer for this one. I'll give you a minute to note this down. Have you noted it down?
Yes, sir.
Have you understood this?
Yes, sir.
Great. Then comes this question. This is a question on my favorite topic, units and dimension. I will not say anything. I'll just wait for your answer. Option 2, you may not have to calculate this. You may not have to calculate this. Pressure gradient is pressure per unit distance. Energy density is energy per unit volume. You can only find out the dimensions of torque, force into distance. I think this is the dimension of torque given here. And you can just find out the dimension of impulse, force into time. This is the dimension. You just see which option is matching which. You just mark it and you just move ahead in life. Do we understand this?
Yes.
This is the next one and I need an answer quickly. Consider the following statement, one other statement, and which is the correct answer. And the answer is
A. A, sir. Option 1, sir.
option 1. As you can see straight away, it does not need any explanation. We have done a lot of questions on this. Yes or no?
Yes.
Do we understand this?
Yes, sir.
Sure.
Yes, sir.
This is the next one, and I wait for your answers. I'll give you 2 minutes to solve this. Root 3 is to 1. We have seen the Broglie wavelet is inversely proportional to root over 2 mqv. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So from there you can get the answer for this one. This is the next one, my dear friend, and I need a quick answer for this one. This is from the second section, so the answer should be in 4 numbers, 2 numbers after decimal, whatever you call it. I'll give you a minute. Potential difference between these 2 points are equal. That means it forms a balanced Wheatstone bridge. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
These 2 are in parallel. It will give you how much? 2. These 2 are in series. This will give you 3. This is x. And this is x upon 1 plus x. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Then 2 by 3 should be equal to x upon 1 plus x divided by x. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
From here, you should get the value of x, and the value of x is coming as half. Then, my dear friends, the answer is 0.50. That is the answer, and that is the way you should have written it. This is the next one in line, and I need a quick answer for this one. And here is the question, and the answer is the mass of a bullet is this, fired from a gun of mass, this thing without the bullet, with a speed of 100 meters per second. The recoil speed of the gun is this one. What is the value of x?
1, sir. X is equals to 0.1.00.
1.00 mv. Initial momentum is 0. Final momentum has to be 0. M into v. m1 v1 equal to m2 v2. We all understand this? Yes or no?
Yes.
You can see questions are pretty damn simple. This is the next one in line. The ratio of temperature in Kelvin of hydrogen and oxygen is 2:1. What is the ratio of their kinetic energy per molecule? And the answer is
2:1, sir.
2:1, 02.00. Do we understand this?
Yes.
This is the last question, I think, from this paper, which will wind up our section as well. The relation between velocity v and position x of a particle moving along x-axis is given by this. This is the time period of the oscillatory motion of the particle is 88 by n seconds. Find the value of n, my dear friends. So how are we supposed to write this? We can write this equation in this form. V square is equal to 1 by 4 into 50 minus x square. Yes or no?
Yes.
Well, I can write V is equal to 1 by 2 root over 50 minus x square. Yes or no?
Yes.
V is equal to omega into root over a square minus x square. I can compare it with this equation. Yes or no? No, yes.
Yes.
That's it. That solves my question. Because now I can find out the value of omega. Omega is half. And time period is 2 pi by omega. So time period is 2 into 22 by 7 into 1 by 4. So it becomes 4 comes in the numerator. Time period is half what I'm doing. 2 pi by omega, 2 into 22 by 7 divided by 2 divided by 1 by 2. So it goes in the numerator. It becomes multiplied by 2. So this is 88 by 7. N is equal to 7, or the value of n is 07.00. And that is the answer that we are looking at. Do you understand how we have done this?
Yes, sir.
Well, then we come to an end of this session. In this session, we have solved 3 questions from the last session of JEE. We will continue this in the next class. Tomorrow, we will be solving more question papers from the same session, and that will give us a view of how the question paper is and how it has to be solved. The question that you are not able to do, please go back and see and solve some more questions on that part. Do we understand this?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then I'll see you tomorrow in the next class. Take care. God bless you all.